Hello, welcome to Successful Tradings. I know you do not believe in Santa Claus. So how can something that doesn't exist lend its name to this concept in the market called Santa Claus Rally? I will spare you the detail of my 8 and 10-year-old niece's reaction to the truth discovery this weekend. So for you and I, let's dissect if, in fact, the so-called Santa Claus Rally that is touted across the media each and every year around this time holds water. Without any further ado, let us go ahead and uncover the uncomfortable truth. All right, okay. Santa Claus Rally in the market. How many times have you been hearing that? So in this video today, we're going to spend the time actually defining what the so-called Santa Claus Rally is, and look back at the data to answer the question if in fact there is such a concept that can support all of this wahala that goes in and out really on the video. So Santa Claus Rally is this notion that is this, I don't know, simple. I wanted to say simple notion. Is this an idea that around Christmas or the holidays time, but it's really close, yeah, around Christmas time or so, the stock market will rally, meaning the stock market will be bullish or so. So as you know, for us, we need to rely on hard evidence before we really start drinking the Kool-Aid or start being comfortable in something. And so if that's the case, we will definitely, you know how we love quantitative analysis here, we will give you a plan on how to go about taking advantage of that. So first, let's just spend 6 minutes here doing some of our usual stock market technical analysis that we do. So this is where the weekly chart of the QQQ, we started the QQQ here, but we're going to look at SPY as well. So last week, actually, QQQ moved decently, well, 8 points thereabouts from an opening of 303.08 all the way to 311 at the high, and it closed the week at just above 310. From a daily chart perspective, and notice there is no room on the weekly chart on the upper Bollinger. So we'll open it a little bit. We have a short week into this rally, which makes it like, okay, we have one less extra day because the Christmas day is Friday, so the market is closed on that day, and I think we close early on Thursday as well. So really, we have 3.5 days thereabout. So on the daily chart for QQQ, all keeping that in mind, there's some room for 314 on here, let's say 315 of the likes. We closed the week on a red candle on this past Friday, December the 18th. So if there's any Santa Claus rally, so my question is, how far to the North Pole? Yeah, you know, North Pole. Okay. In any case, I try, folks. So over the interesting part here, since November 14, a full month, folks, QQQ has only had 2 red candles. Wow. Yeah, we have been touting this in our pre-market analysis and our day trading, live day trading pre-market analysis every weekday. By the way, if you are not a subscriber, we will invite you to subscribe, because then you get your notification and you can catch us with pre-market. They're usually, don't quote me here, they're usually trades that are given. I don't know. I'm not promising anything, yeah? so I'm not promising anything like a Santa Claus rally. So again, intellect, you don't know that. You need to show people the data in order for you to remove all hope or anything. So here's where SPY closed. SPY closed at 309, at 369, 309, we wish. 369, 18 this past Friday. That's from the daily above the exponential, just above the exponential moving average 8 period on here. Where do we stand in terms of this constant that we made the other day, the crossing of below of the MACD below the signal? Well, it didn't change for the entire week. Yeah, so we're still in that case. This is usually, folks, the time where, hey, an entry on here, well, things are still, because when you look afterwards, you say, oh, it was already on its way, but the price was not indicative of that, right? The price here is still showing bullish, whereas we have had the cross under. So interesting going into the Santa Claus rally week on here in the next couple of days. So for now, the trend on both QQQ SPY and IWM for that matter, yeah, because the small cap index ETF has actually been one of the most solid ones, just from this December time frame, definitely. But starting in November, it really accelerated when it got past 164 thereabout, where it has been stuck for the longest of time. Yeah, here it is. Let's even say 160. Really, when it got past that, it went through some consolidation. That's what made it a little bit difficult to trade. But overall, people who took the long-term plan, definitely they got some profits on IWM. So now, folks, let's go and just through, as you know here, through the data, and we are going to be using SPY. So I prepared some data on here. That's as usual, you know how we get this data, right? So we download the data from Yahoo Finance. That's something that if you haven't done, I don't know if I've made a video on that, but if you haven't done that, let us know, and we will definitely try to get you that. So here's the data in Excel. So I will spare you the more data. I want you to get you to the answer. Is the Santa Claus Rally legit, or is it just another I don't know what scam is? It's not a word to go by on here. So we downloaded the data since 2000, so that's where we have as much data as possible. We have all the days of the week, the weekly data here, open to high, open to low, as you may have seen in the past. So we want to see pretty much in the week, let's say usually week 52 or week 53, depending on the year, from open to high and from open to low, what is the average move overall, to be able to answer our question, right? So we did that on here, just as we can start showing you here. So let's say, for instance, in 2019, how do we know it's 2019? So these are the dates here in 2019. So from the 20th through the 24th, you see the data here. The week number is this column on here, column J. So in this case here, we see days. So on this day, for instance, on the 20th, okay, we went up a little bit, but there's not really some, I mean, yeah, a couple of days, the high, open to high was higher than open to low. But how about here? How about here? And then here as well. But actually, this one was after the Christmas. In 2018, okay, there's this data on here, 4%, or even this one on here that suggests that. But folks, open to low was much bigger. All right, so that's not really not a valid. So instead of doing this one by one, let's go to the summary, because we have summarized this. I summarized this on here through the pivot table. So what are we looking at? My year are here in this column, and let's make sure that let's put this guy on here. Oops, I want to show all the way to 2019. So we're tracking the average open to high for week 51, meaning pretty much last week, the equivalent of last week, and then week 52, the week that's coming up for us, right? So the open to high, this is it here throughout the years. This is the open to low for SPY, and in which case we want to see, should there be a so-called Santa Claus rally, we should be seeing that the open to high, it's really, really big consistently each and every week number 52 across the years, right? So the year that has it's on here where the open to high is much higher than the open to low is 2018. Let's maybe highlight that here. So this row overall, 2018, because it lends merit. That's not highlighting text. So this one, do you want to put it in red? Yeah, well, wow, text, you shouldn't put it in red. You should put it in big green. Yeah, that's the whole, that's why it's being sold so to us on here. So this here, but again, it moved 2% up, but the low was minus 1.4 from so a lot of volatility in 2018, if you recall what was going on in December at the time, right? But my friend, the rest of the years, yeah, we can compare these numbers. There is not a clear evidence. So in 2007, for instance, maybe you can say, okay, let's focus on here. We can say that, oh, 2007, that's far, far, far away, not like in the future, far, far, far away, right? So in this case, let's say 2011, flat, even. This is the open to high, this column here. This is the open to low average for week 52 for SPY. In 2009, small edge to the bullish side. 2010 even. 2011 small edge to the bearish side. 2012 small edge to the bearish side. Actually it's minus 0.7 versus minus 0.2 substantial, right? 2013 tiny bit edge to the bullish side, but 0.2 is not much. 0.2 minus 0.2 2014, and we carry on, folks, on here. The average over, let's say, for us on here, let's do this. This is the average over the last 20 years, yeah? Flat out, the same type of move from the open to the high on week 52, and open high versus open to low. So no clear indication here that there is a so-called Santa rally. The numbers do not support that. If we go to week 51 that passed by, is actually a week that has played bearish in overall in the most part. But instead of the 20 years, how about we just focus on the last 10 years? Yeah, 2010 alternate. So the average for open to high, that average here is 0.4. I'm reading it here, folks. Yeah. And if I take the similar average, oops, I do not want to do that. Sorry. I do a similar average here from 2010 on the bearish side, minus 0.5. So we are looking at minus 0.5 versus a minus 0.4. So if anything, the data is a small edge on the bearish side, meaning conclusion at the end of the day, the data on SPY does not support this so-called concept of Santa Claus rally. So looking in here into 2020, we have some type of a context that's different. So hey, that those outliers, they can, because in 2018 there was 2% on there, but following a minus 1.4%. So there's some news that came in earlier, right? So in the government, I think they reach I'm looking at here, so they reach an agreement regarding a stimulus in the US. So that's something that could somehow influence over the next 3 days and support this notion of Santa Claus. But by and large, as an option trader beginner, there's no reason for us to be all bullish or out believing in the so-called Santa Claus rally. I hope you learned something here today. Hopefully it wasn't as painful as for my nieces discovering what's the truth behind this so-called Santa. And we wish you a great evening, a great afternoon, a great morning, wherever you're watching from. Bye-bye.